Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come.
Yeah, Monday. What's up, everybody? It's Monday morning. Welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson, as we're going to kick off like we do each and every day, looking at the same 10 to 12 futures markets from an educational and breakout perspective. So let's go ahead and dive in. Real quick announcement for those of you that are aware, doing a futures webinar on Wednesday evening, the 14th. So those of you that are interested, please join us Wednesday evening, the 14th. Go to tradersarmy.com/registration to register for our webinar. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. S&P down 25 points this morning. We're taking it on the chin a little bit today as we had some overnight market movements right at the European market open. So last night we were looking at the market, felt like there was a little bit better of an opportunity for price to drop. And now we're kind of coming into this area here where we may get a bit of a reversal. Now, because of this strong move down that we saw happen in the overnights, your next, I originally had a level of reversal up there, but I'm now going to change it to this area here and remove this upper area, okay? Because the fact that this is the European market open. Now, we are coming close to an area that we could see a bit of a reversal, but I don't think that's going to hold. And the reason I don't necessarily think that's going to hold is because that's the equivalent area that we have here in the Nasdaq, and price has already almost come there once, and in the Russell. Now, I don't normally look at the RUT in the daily market commentary, but that same level would be this one here in the RUT, and we're there right now. So the S&P level is a little bit suspect. Now the RUT, we looked at a breakdown last night in the RUT below this area here. You may or may not have gotten in. You really want to have the basing to really get you into that breakdown position if you wanted to take it. But we are leading into some areas where we may have a hard time holding on to this area of demand. So for now, what I'm going to do is remove that area of demand. Could get a little bounce off of it, and if you still want to give it a go, but you want to be more conservative, then do a confirmation entry. Looking at crude oil. So in crude oil last night, we did have our breakdown trade. Now our breakdown was the area right here, and when we were in the classroom, crude oil gave us the breakdown, but then just didn't do a whole lot. However, we said that the absolute tightest your stop could be would be above this candle's wick, right at this blue line, and price did not come back to the full stop out area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles, and then we get our breakdown. So if you had your head on the pillow, you may not have stopped this thing out too early, and now we're kind of running down. Now, if you were dead to the world and weren't able to get out of that position, I think now's a decent time to move your stop to break even, because we're getting a little bit of momentum back up. All three of these candles have buying wicks underneath them, but once again, we could get this looking a lot like the equity markets. This move down occurred right at the European market open, so keep that in mind for a reversal today. Gold, I'm looking for some basing below this level as an opportunity to get in and get long, and that's kind of what we're seeing occur. Here's a bit of basing before the level, so we'll keep an eye on that one for later today. And then in our bond and currency markets, so in the ZN, had looked at this area, however, last night, however, we did pop through it. Pop through that zone, thought we might get a little bit of a reversal, and actually that should be a pink level because it was 15 minutes, but just popped right through it. I mean, there was too much strength in the bonds, and it blew through that level. I think bonds are a little overcooked. I think that we should see some profit taking pullback, but we got to do what the market tells us. So for now, I'm not really going to add anything to the picture. I'm going to leave that be kind of as is. In the Aussie, so in our Aussie position, we had price came back into our level. We identified this as a potential reversal for those of you that were interested in shorting the Aussie. So this was our best setup for the night as we hit that level and have gotten a really strong move away in the Aussie. So if you caught that Aussie position from last night's live trade room, phenomenal. You're getting a really nice run out of that. It's a significantly better run in the Aussie than really any other market. The reason we took that was because the belief that the markets could roll back over, and we could see another move down inside the Aussie. Now, if this level had broken, we were going to be looking for a potential basing and then a pop above here. But that's what we've gotten down from that zone. So I don't want to use that level again. But if you're in it, take your stop, lock in some profits, move your stop down. You've already moved at least 2 to 1. So move your stop down somewhere in here to take to protect yourself from losing anything else. Inside the euro, so in the euro we were looking at this triangle area here. Got a little bit of a poke below it. Got a little bit of a poke below it, and so now we're starting to rally back up. And once again, this is on the Europe, just right around the European market open that we saw that speed candle move away. Another opportunity to get short on a retracement back to that level if we indeed make it all the way. Now, I don't love the basing that we're getting in front of it as of now, right? We're getting that red candlestick movement in front of it now, so that weakens the probability of that working out. And then in the Canadian dollar, last night I'd said we may get a little bit of a breakdown below this line here. The breakdown has occurred, and now it's kind of wicking a bit. So if you're in that one, I think it's pretty decent idea at this point to take your stop and move it to break even, just to protect yourself from any whipsaw coming back up the other way, as it looks like that's what some of the other currencies are doing. So Canadian dollar breakout, gold, crude oil breakout, Aussie reversal, all of those working out pretty well. Russell breakout, no reason to get in, and then the bond level that failed. So don't be sad. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Great British Pound, where we see this little area for a potential reversal. Now the pound level, if you set it up on a limit entry because you were trading the overnights, then you would have been stopped out on that move higher. Now, if you didn't set it up on a limit entry and you said, should I take this thing in the overnight hours? The answer to that would be no. Right? The basing here below the level would have negated the ability to take this short here. Nice, small, tight little zone, right? I mean, a ridiculously tight zone. We're looking at 1206 by 1207, right? I mean, that's a very tight level that we popped right through, and now coming to another potential area. So, this one, the trade itself was negated based on the rules. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of pure set it and forget style. This one would have done it at 2 a.m. And so if you're up and you see it, great. And if not, for a reason to cancel. And if not, then if you just have a limit order put in, you get a quick stop out. Japanese yen, we got a little bit of a pop above above this wedge, this triangle wedge level, if you will. And we popped right up above there, and it's kind of continuing to move. This is not one that I was jumping up and down excited about, but this is an area that we said, hey, it may pop through here, and so now our next reversal level is somewhere up in here now. But on a 4 hour, our trend is definitively very strong to the upside. So if you want to take this, it has to be a confirmation entry. So keep an eye today on a potential for a gap and go down in these equity markets. If we get a pretty big sell-off today, let's keep an eye on a big sell-off for the day as we are coming down. Like I said, we're coming close to this area of demand. May get a reversal out of it, but I'm not in love with it. And we'll see exactly what happens from this point. So if you have any questions, please send us an email. support at tradersarmy.com. Remember the Wednesday evening futures webinar. For those of you that want to learn a little bit more about how to trade futures, go to tradersarmy.com/registration. I will see you soon. Bye.